Are you doing these 8 things to improve your life? Hi, my name is John Lee from Wealth Dragons, and today I want to share with you the 8 things that it takes to create a lot more success and to create that improvement in your life. You see, a lot of the times we want to achieve a lot more in our life, but the thing is, we've got to do certain things to give us the skill level to get there. I find a lot of the times people don't actually create the skills in taking, like there's a gap between where they are and where they want to be, and that gap in between is the thing that allows people to create that improvement in their life. So I'm going to share these 8 things with you. So just wait for a few of you to come on, and I'm going to share this with you. Okay, and also if you're just joining now, let me know where you are dialing in from. Let me know where you're dialing in from. All right. Cool. So the first one that I want for you, the first thing that we want to do in order to improve our lives is, number 1, write this down, to read books. Right? I know you've heard me say this a lot before, but you just, like, every single week, if you can just take one book in whatever particular field that you're in right now and then just like read it. A lot of the times we have these things called, these books that are supposed to be self-development, but they end up being on our shelf and they end up becoming shelf development. So first thing you want to do is you want to read books. So let me ask you right now, for those of you watching this, what books have you read this week or maybe this year that's actually improved your life, and what lessons did you learn from them? So I'm just going to give a shout out. So we've got Mohammed that's joined, Pikwa, Mohammed, Vildrum as well. So just make sure that you let me know what sort of books you're currently reading right now and what sort of results that's got you. And if you just look at what you're reading, like for me, I read a lot of stuff on mindset, I read a lot of stuff on sales and on business and on marketing. Specifically, it's not always the stuff that you read that on a consistent basis that gets you that improvement in life. Sometimes it's an area which you're not good at. So the first thing is you've always got to be reading books. All right, just give me a second whilst I'm going to share this. Okay. So the next thing, number 2, is you got to listen to podcasts, right? So there's lots of podcasts out there right now. So on my phone, I just type in entrepreneurship, business, and self-improvement. And there's lots of podcasts out there right now where people are doing interviews. And what I find particularly interesting is when you're listening to somebody else's point of view, sometimes someone can say something to you over and over and over again, but it sounds like the same thing. But it just takes someone to say it to you in a different way, and that's the thing that got boom, you get that little click. If you know what I'm talking about, give me a thumbs up. All right, if you don't talk about it, give me a thumbs up. Okay, I'm gonna give you the third one in a second. By the way, if you've just joined, then say hi and let me know where you are dialing in from. I know it's a weekend, and I hope a lot of you are actually doing some amazing things so far and taking massive action, so make sure you go ahead and do that. Okay, so the third thing, are you ready for number 3? If you are, type in 3. We've got Siberia, says, I love your podcast, thank you so much. Mohammed, Rich Father, Poor Father, Insolent. Dan, Crush It by Gary V. Read about previously, learned about mental rehearsal, fantastic. Fizzy, hey Fizzy, how you doing? .com Secrets is pretty good. We got Sunny, how you doing Sunny? We've got Brahinda, we've got Mohammed from Morocco, Valdirma from Bratislava, fantastic. Awesome. So the third thing that we want to do is take a course, right? So right now, when I first started in entrepreneurship, I took a lot of courses specifically on the topic of internet marketing, property investment, and also sales. In fact, sales was probably the one that I did the most. I did a lot of sales training, learning about psychology, learning about influence, learning about persuasion. And I find that a lot of the times when you're actually taking a course, it's very different to actually reading. Would you agree with that? Because when you read a book, you get book smart. But when you take a course, you become street smart. Because what happens is when you're doing both at the same time, you're able to implement the things that you learn. And of course, when you attend the course, there's lots of courses out there, by the way, which are free. You don't have to pay to go to a lot of these courses. But there are paid courses. So my suggestion to all of you is, do you want to take a paid course or do you want to take a free course? And there's always different elements to be involved. So by the way, give me a comment to what courses that you've attended that have actually made an impact to your life, and share that with me. And what sort of benefit you got from that, and also what sort of actions that you took upon the things that you learned that actually got you the results. Okay, so I'm just give me a second. I'm just gonna share some of this as well. All right. So again, one of the courses that I took, which I think is for me changed everything. I attended a course that taught people how to find property deals. So when I saw this course, I was like, wow, one of the things I need to learn is to find a cheap property deal. Because for those of you right now, if you're working in a job and you don't particularly like your job and you want to make, you know, some extra income on the side, one of the easiest things that you can do is you can buy one property and then sell it. So for example, right now, if I buy a house for 50,000 and I sell it for 100,000, I've just seen you in the mirror. that's my wife, by the way. She just made me this really nice, what is this? Orange juice. Okay, all right, thank you, I appreciate that. Nice and healthy. Right, so number 4 is take a course. So let's see, what course have you taken? Sunny says results. I'm more confident to step up my mission. Dan says Wealth Mastery Live with you. Started an Amazon business and quit my full-time job. Well done. Let me know how you're getting on with that. We've got Barbara, Speaker Accelerator with Eric. Fantastic. Joel, Mindfulness by Mark Williams. Wow, fantastic. Sunny says Message to Millions. Fantastic. Christian Descartes says The Automatic Customer. Brilliant. So there's all these different courses you can take. And you know the funny thing about this is there's actually 3 areas. The first area is a general type of course, right? So for example, a general type of course could be like property. The second is what we call a more specialized type of course. So a specialized type of course is you would take it, but it's on a specific topic. So the one that I took was how to find properties specifically that was below market value. So this was many years ago. And also the third type of course is when you take it and it's like a done with you. So you actually go on the course and you actually do it with them. So when I first went on this this course to teach people how to find property below market value, I didn't believe that was possible. In fact, I thought it was too good to be true. I don't know if you've ever attended any programs that you always think is too good to be true. But what I realized is that when you take a course, it allows you to think about things instinctively a lot deeper at a subconscious level. So what happens is you learn it, you see it, and then you experience it. And this is why you should all, if you want to constantly improve your life, take a course in something. It could be take a course in business or marketing or sales or mindset. You know, a lot of you watching this, you might have some mind blocks that are blocking you from getting to the next level. You have this energy that, you know, no matter what you try and do, it blocks you. So one course you might want to take is to unblock your energy so then you can flow, right? By the way, if you've just joined, say hi and let me know where you are dialing in from. We've got Stella, we've got Jade from Singapore. We've got Mohammed, took a course in online programming. I learned more than I do in college. Absolutely. I don't know if you've ever experienced this before, but I went to university for many years and I did a lot of formal education. But do you know what? It didn't teach me the real skills that I needed in life. If you can relate to this, by the way, give me a like and type in yes. Right? Give me a like and type in yes. And what I find is when I attend a course, like what I learn in a course, it like shortcuts, like 3 days in a course is equivalent to what I've learned in like years of being at university. And what I find is they didn't teach me the right skills in which I actually needed to progress to improve my life. Remember, this whole session is about improving your life and really finding the 8 things. And these are 8 things that I've constantly done that constantly improve my life. Because remember, if you're not growing, you are automatically dying. And by the way, if this is the first time you've joined my Facebook live sessions and my live sessions, then the way I like to teach is I like to teach you a concept and then I like you to type it in, because there's 3 types of learning. 1, to see. 2 is to hear. 3 is to be involved. The more involved we are in the learning process, the deeper it gets into our subconscious, and therefore we're able to recall that information and then it becomes second nature to us. So if you've just joined, then I'm going to recap the 3 things. So number 1, I want you to type in read books. So just type that in. Also for people coming in who, you know, missed the first 3, they can actually go through the comments and read this. So number 1 is read books. Number 2, listen to podcasts. And again, if you've got an Apple, just type in podcast app, and there's so many different podcasts that you can listen to in all different areas, and mentally, spiritually, in health. Health is really important as well, and also in business. So second is a podcast, type that in. And third is to take a course, type that in as well. Okay, and we'll come to number 4 in a second. So we got Mohammed, course, we've got Stefan, Macaro, TJ, Eva, Stella, well, there's a lot of Denise, Jade, fantastic. So now the fourth thing, you ready for number 4? Type in 4, and I want to give you what number 4 is. So number 4, this is really important because I believe it's part of the purpose of life, part of who we are, and a part of who we become. And number 4 is to practice old passions. So one of the things I love to do, I love to play badminton. I love to play games because I used to come from a games background. I love films. And here's the interesting thing about engaging within our old passions. So let me ask you right now, what old passions do you currently have? Right? What are you passionate about that you forgot about and you haven't gone back and done? Right? Some of you may be passionate about singing or music or designing or drawing or just meditation. What are you passionate about right now? So for me, I'm passionate about creating something special that's going to last, that's going to leave a legacy. So Miracle says music. TJ says comedy and poetry. Adam, what do you say? You say learning, right? Vilma says martial arts. So all these things that these practicing the old passions brings back life and purpose. Spirituality, again, when you guys type this, I'm going to say it out for you as well. So spirituality, all these different things. Like for me, when I went back to the old pastimes of creating films, one of the things I've always loved to do is to make films. And currently right now, I'm in the middle of writing and creating a film. In fact, the script has just been finished for my feature film that I'm releasing in the near future. So why is this important? Because when you find that purpose in life, then it starts to create more purpose, right? When you find that passion, it creates purpose, it creates living, and then you have a reason to do things. If you know what I'm talking about, give me some love hearts, right? And by the way, if you've just joined, let me know where you're dialing in from, and I will give you a shout out. Mohammed said games coding, right? Coding, I used to love animation. That's one of my old practices. I used to make a lot of films in animation, in 3D animation. So number 4, you want to constantly improve your life, because when you go back to your old passion, you start to realize, there's lots of things that I don't know, and then you start to engage upon the things that you know, which then improves your life and gives you a lot more skills, which then can be applied to different areas. I'll give you another example. One of my old practices, my old passions is film, right? And directing. And so next week I'm going to be in London and we're doing a film shoot where I'm taking that stuff and I'm putting that into real life business of what I'm doing right now. And when you engage in old passions, then it starts to relate, and you can relate it into today's business. Like my business partner, Vincent Wong. By the way, do you guys know Vincent Wong? If you do, then just type in Vincent Wong. Vincent, one of his passions right now is boxing. He's always been interested in boxing, and now he was at the gym doing boxing, but now he's applied that to business. And how has he done that? He's done that by saying, when you box, you feel tired and you feel like giving up. But in business, you always want to start doing whatever it takes to get there. Whenever you feel like giving up, that's when you need to keep pushing on. So he's taken a bit of those learnings and applied that to everyday life. So that's number 4. All right. Denise says exercise. Mayin says how to improve selling, right? So, these are all different things that you want to start focusing right now and getting back to that, because you never know how that's going to improve right now. We've got Martha on here, as I say. Hi, Martha. Oh, by the way, if you're finding this stuff useful, do me a favor. I love to help and improve other people's lives. And if you've found this useful, then just hit the share button around this video and it's going to get shared to other people as well. Jade says passion for dance. Here's the funny thing about this as well. When you find what you're passionate about, that is creating purpose. And when you have a lot more purpose in your life, you can then, what if I said to you that you could create something that you were so passionate about it that you could actually earn an income from this as well? That would be amazing. For example, Martha, she's passionate about branding. She's passionate about making people look amazing. And now, I've had the pleasure of, coaching and really helping a little bit there to help her get to that next level. Now she's doing amazingly well. And if you look at any of her work, she's just making people look amazing. So, Martha, great job. Okay, number 5. Now, this is a big one because this is the one that allows you to improve the most, right? And if you don't have this, then it's very, very hard to improve. So if you're ready for number 5, then type in 5 for me, and I'm going to give you number 5. You see, a lot of the times to improve, we need to know how bad we are. And, sometimes being bad at something, we have to look in the mirror and then we have to look at ourselves and say, actually, I'm not good at that. I need to do something better. And so a lot of the times when number 5 is about getting feedback and critique. So for example, in my business right now, I always ask people, hey, how can this be better? When I'm running events with 1,000 people there, I'm always asking, hey, how can we make this better? When I'm recording programs, for example, I'm going to ask you right now, I do a lot of these Facebook Lives when I have the time to do this, but if I was to ask you what programs or what topics would you like me to cover? Right? And you can type that in for me, so I'll go back through these comments and I can see how I can make this better and how can I improve upon this as well. So it's always really good to seek feedback, right? And also seek feedback from constructive, like you want constructive feedback, you want feedback, honest feedback, and you got to be able to take it, right? And by the way, here's one thing I want you to do, right? I want you to do this after we finish this. I want you to contact 5 people and I want you to ask them, hey, what do you really think of what I do, right? Or let's say you've got clients and you do something, you want to ask your clients to say, hey, what do you think of the work that I provide? I want you to give me honest feedback. And in fact, a really good thing that you can do is you can download a piece of, there's a software or a website or an app called SurveyMonkey. And in fact, you can send the SurveyMonkey and it will survey your entire database of people who know you, who have got your products and services, maybe your clients or maybe your friends, and they can leave anonymous feedback. So which means to say that now you're getting real feedback. Like when we do our speaker training program out in Bali, we always have a lot of people, when people present, we have people fill in these feedback forms, but they're anonymous. So they're honest feedback. So it's kind of like they're getting the real feedback because you don't want to make the real mistakes in the real world. You want to know right now what your challenges are and what you can improve upon it. And a part of that relies on letting go of your ego, right? By the way, if you're going to give this a test, right? If you're going to do this, give me a thumbs up and type in, yes, I will do this. And I promise you that when you seek advice from people and when you seek that honest feedback and that constructive feedback and I guess criticism, we got to take it on the chin because we're going to know that that's going to help us improve upon our life. Maybe I should tell you, or maybe not, I should tell you one thing that happened to me, right? There's one thing that I kept doing over and over and over again that was losing me a lot of business and actually stopped me from getting bigger and creating the business that I've created. If you'd like to know what that is, it's a little secret that I've never told anyone before, but if you guys want to know, then type in I would like to know and give me some love hearts and I'm going to tell you what this is. Because coming from the background of a speaker, I've been speaking for 10 years now, and one thing I always used to do, my business partner Vincent used to say to me, bro, that was okay, but why do you keep doing this, or why do you keep doing that? And as soon as he'd go out to give me some feedback, do you know the first thing I would do? I would justify it. I would say things like, oh, I only did that because of this, or I only did that because of that, and what I'd do is I'd always come up with some BS excuse on why I did that. And in fact, what my business partner was trying to do, he was trying to tell me in an elegant way to not do that, right? So I don't know. By the way, if you can relate to this, give me a thumbs up, give me a like if you guys can relate to this. But the way to accept the feedback is to not make some BS excuse. The way to accept the feedback is to take it on the chin. right? And to not make any BS excuses. And because I thought I knew everything and I got a little bit cocky and I had a big ego back then, I couldn't accept the feedback, because to accept the feedback is to mean that I'm not good enough. And in life, if you want to get good, you want to improve your life, you want to become more successful in your relationships, in your health, in physically, mentally, spiritually, you want to make more income, then you've got to take back that feedback. Right? Another thing that people kept saying to me is, John, why do you keep complaining about your job and do nothing about it? So when I worked in a job, I was earning a decent salary. And I would say to people, I want to quit my job, I want to become an entrepreneur, I want to start my business. And every time someone went to give me some feedback of, oh, John, here's what I think you should do, I thought I knew better. And, that is not the way to improve your life. You've got to be able to accept that feedback. If you know what I'm talking about, give me a 5, type in 5 and hit enter. Type in 5 and hit enter. Okay, so I'm going to move on to number 6 now. Right, and by the way, again, if you've just joined, let me know, just say hi and let me know where you're dialing in from, because I'd like to know that, and I'll give you a shout out. So we've got Jade, we've got TJ, we've got Mike, we've got Alyssa, we've got Stefana, who else we've got? We've got Bridget. Hey Bridget, how you doing? We've got Mohammed, we've got Max. Hey Max, how you doing? We've got Ting Kong T. Hey Ting Kong. Oh, by the way, thank you, I appreciate all your feedback on all my posts, and I do read everything. We got Joseph, we got Ijaz, Armhead, we've got TJ. Hey TJ, how you doing? Okay, so number 6 now. This one is pretty important. Bridget's from London. Hey Bridget, thanks for tuning in today. So number 6, ready for 6? Type in 6. All right, 6, the way to constantly improve your life. Remember, this Facebook Live is about constantly improving our life. Number 6 is working towards a goal. It's having something to work towards. So let me ask you all right now, what are you working towards right now? Right, so tell me right now, what's the one thing that you're working on right now that you've got a goal to? Or if you don't have anything you're working towards, what is it that you would like to work towards? So let me give an example. Right now, would you like to know what I'm constantly working on? If you do, type in yes. One of the things I'm constantly working on, I'm trying to get my fat down to 20%, right? So if you've been watching my Instagrams, you've been following me on Facebook, you see that almost every day I'm at the gym because I'm trying to get my fat down. That's why I'm drinking some healthy stuff, or kind of healthy. And one of the things I want to do is I want to get my fat down. So my goal, I've actually created a whole plan towards it, and that's what I'm working towards every day. Before I started in business, my goal was to make £5,000 a month every single month in order to quit my job, right? So that was my goal 10 years ago. So right now, what are you constantly working on? We have Ellen. Hey Ellen, how you doing? I hope you're well. We've got Manu. We've got TJ owning a home. What else? Lester. Hey Lester, how you doing? What are you constantly working towards right now? Let me know. Maybe I can give you some advice on how I can help you. Stella says, amen. Working on getting loads of views on my YouTube views. Brilliant. That's fantastic. Right? So here's the thing. A lot of people ask me, they say, John, when I want to get to a goal, what's the best way to do it? So when you're actually creating that goal and you're setting a goal and you're actually striving towards it, the first thing you must always do is you need to reverse engineer that goal. So for example, I want to get to 20% body fat. Right now, try and guess what percentage body fat I am. For those of you that haven't seen my snaps, try and guess what percentage of body fat I am right now. And probably you're gonna be like, no way, John, you can't be that. I am. In fact, I weigh myself on a machine, and they said that I'm actually. They've got like solid build, they've got muscular, and in the middle it's got obese. I'm actually obese, right? This machine that I'm selling says I'm obese, and my fat level now, try and take a guess, right, is 24%. Now, when I first started, I was about 32.3%. So it's taken me about a year to drop down to 24%. So my goal, I'm working towards getting down to 20%. So why is this important? Because when you have a goal to set and something to reach, every day you've got something to work towards. If you're waking up every day and saying, oh, I don't know what to do, or I'm not sure what I should be doing, then that's not good. to constantly improve means to always find out what it is that we want to achieve. So what I've done is I've actually reverse engineered all that. So for example, the first thing I did to get from 32.3% or whatever I was at height, like low 30s. To get from there to 25, the one thing I did that I dramatically changed is I started going to the gym, right? And then what I started to do to push it down even further, then I started eating better. So instead, like my lifestyle, I'm traveling all around the world, so I'm eating out almost every day, right? And I know that's no excuse, but that's what I was doing. So I started to notice that, and then I started to put a plan in place. So instead of like going out to eat, I would actually pay somebody to cook food for me, and then now the food is already there, right? So now it's healthier home cooked stuff because I was spending a lot of money just eating out. So now I got a plan for that. So you got to work towards that goal to be able to have that plan. So let me look at what plans you guys have got. So Stella, you're working towards getting lots of views on YouTube. So what is your plan for that? Mohammed, make a big company on programming in Morocco. So again, what is your plan on that? Right? TJ, to buy my first investment property and creating a website. So what is your plan on that? Joel says, wise and inspirational words, buddy. Joel, I appreciate that. Thank you for watching. So you've always got to have this goal, reverse engineer it all the way back. When I first started many years ago, my goal again was to make enough passive income so I didn't have to work again. So I had a plan on how to do that. I thought, if I buy this many properties, right, and each one pays me X amount every single month, then I don't have to work anymore. And that's exactly what I did. I spent 2.5 to 3 years in that window building that and working towards it so I didn't have to work again. Right, so then of course I got bored and I retired early, and now I wanted to seek a new venture, hence why Vincent Wang and I have started Wealth Dragons and many other technology companies. So that is number 6. And by the way, if you can relate to any of what I'm saying, give me some love hearts and let's see them come across the screen. Stella says, putting up good quality content. Shelabu says, hi John, thanks, I've learned so much from you since the last year. I appreciate that. By the way, if you're watching and you haven't said hi yet, also let me know where you're actually dialing in from. Like, where are you guys dialing in from? Are you like in London? I mean, I don't mean that. I mean, where are you right now? So right now I'm in my home office. I just got back from the gym, but last time I asked this question, someone was halfway up climbing Mount Kilimanjaro watching this Facebook Live. So where are you guys watching this from? Are you watching it from your bedroom, from your house? Are you out shopping right now? Are you, like, what are you doing? All right, so number 7. Okay, this is a big one because I find that a lot of the times when we are not having this vision of being able to see it, because if you can't see it here, you cannot see it here. So Amazing says, I'm in bed. Lester says, I'm in the kitchen. Lester Lee. Dorothy says, in London. Luana says, kitchen, washing up. Hey, Luana, I've got a good tip for you. If you're going to watch these Facebook Lives and a constant thing, get some Bluetooth headsets, right? So I've got one just outside actually. But the Bluetooth headsets allow you to listen to it, and then as you're doing the washing up, you don't have to watch the video. You can actually listen to my audio as I'm doing this. Stefana says, in the living room. Pinkley says, Pinkley in St. Lucia. Wow, fantastic. I appreciate that, guys. Joel says, Canary Wharf. Wow, that's brilliant. Okay, so number 7. Okay, we're almost finished now. By the way, if you've just joined and you've missed the first 6 already, would you like me to recap? If you would like me to recap, then just type in recap and I'll go through all 6 that you've missed, so you can kind of get used to this. We've got Marl says, hi John, watching from Singapore. What time is it in Singapore right now? It must be like midnight. Luana, great tips, thanks. Lamo says from Belfast. Pinckney says recap. Okay, I'm going to recap very quickly. Grab a pen and write this down. So 8 ways to constantly improve your life. Number 1, read books. Number 2, listen to podcasts. Number 3, take a course. Number 4, practice old passions. Number 5, get feedback and honest, constructive criticism. Number 6 is to have a goal and work towards it. And number 7, if you're ready for 7, type in 7. All right. Number 7 is really important because number 7 is you have to be open to change. Right? You have to be open to change. Now, a lot of the times, the reason why people don't improve their lives is because they're not changing. They're not doing anything new. And the idea is that when you make a change, your brain always wants things that is easy. They always want things that your brain is designed to get you the most efficient result as quick as possible. The moment it has to change, your brain says, oh, hey, hold on a second, and it starts to make excuses. Right? And unfortunately, and you'll find this when you do something new and you constantly want to practice that new thing, your brain kind of says, actually, hold on a second, go back to doing it the old way. And this happens a lot. Like, for example, people in my organization, in my company, when I teach a concept and I tell them to get that concept down and to do it a different way, what happens for a day, they start to change. And then slowly but surely, they start to go back into the old way. And that's how the brain is programmed. So what we want to do is we have to be open to change, to realize that, to say, hey, if I want to make this change in my life, I know that it's going to take 7 or 8 or 10 or 20 or even a month to do this. And you must know that every time the uncomfortableness comes back to say, hey, hold on a second, you just got to do this. So like you want to do something and this thing goes, hold it right there. You're just going to take it. You're going to move it out of the way. Right? Like the block's going to come, you're just going to shift it out of the way and you're going to carry on moving forward no matter how uncomfortable that is. Right? If you're going to give that a try, give me some love hearts. Right? I want you to try that because it's until we make that change in our life do different things start to happen. If you agree with that, give me some likes. Right? You've got to do something like for example, let's say I keep eating Burger King. I used to love Burger King, by the way. Their double Whoppers are amazing. Until I found out there's 900 calories in a double Whopper. So when I was eating it, like one of my personal trainers said to me, he said, John, if you want to drop from 25% down to 20%, you have to dramatically change something in your diet. So the reason I was able to drop so much fat in such a, I say a short space of time, but it actually took me a while. It took me a long time to change into that pattern because my pattern would always be, okay, I want to have a sandwich, I'm going to have a coffee with that or a cup of tea, and then after that I'll have a chocolate bar, right? And the problem with that is my mind is not open to change, which means it's locked into a pattern, it's refusing to change, and therefore new things can't come in. So the moment I started changing one thing, it started to change other things. So for example, one change, would you like to know one change that I do on a consistent basis that I still do to today that helps me improve my life, right? If you want to know the change, type in one change. Type in one change. We've got Julia, we've got Pickney, welcome Melita, we've got Rita, number 1, read books, any recommendations? Yeah, I'll give you a few book recommendations in a second. Lester, TJ, Mohammed, Ting, Lomo, TJ, Max. Okay, good. So the one change that I did is a really good app that tracks what you eat, right? This is one thing I changed in my health area that allowed me to get a lot more energy, to help me look better, and to also burn a lot more fat and to make me healthier. So what I did is I downloaded this app, and this app was called MyFitnessPal. And what my personal trainer said to me to do, he says, John, every time you're going to eat something, before you put it in your mouth, you need to go to your app and you need to type in what you're eating. And that's when I realized that, Jesus, eating a Burger King, right, is like 900 calories just for the burger. Right? If you look at a latte, anyone love Starbucks here? If you love Starbucks, type in Starbucks. I'm a huge Starbucks lover. But Starbucks, a latte, a small latte, there's 150 calories in that. So what happened is my personal trainer said to me, John, if you want to go from 25% to 20%, that means your fat allocation, calories deficit needs to be around 1,500 to 1,750. And so what he had me do, he had me backtrack all my eating habits where I wasn't open to change. And my eating habits, my calorie was coming in like between 2,500 to 3,000. And that's why I was putting on weight. And it's the same for business. Right now, if you're broke and you have no money, it's because you're spending probably more than you earn. It's very simple. Or if you're not if you're having to work in a job, my guess is that you're not having enough multiple streams of passive income coming in to sustain your salary, which means you have to work and trade time for money. Is this making sense, by the way? If it makes sense, type in yes for me so I know this is making sense to you. So a part of that mindset of opening for change and having that open mind is that you have to instinctively know that if I go for this new thing, then this is going to happen. I know it's going to happen. Therefore, I'm going to take it, I'm going to move it away, and then just keep moving forward. And that is how being open-minded to change will happen. And here's the funny thing that will happen as well. That when you start to change, new things get into your brain, you start to act differently, you start to do things differently, and when you start to do things differently, new things start to happen in your life. I'll give an example. One of my and it's really weird. A lot of people come to my events. They hear me speak in front of thousands of people. They come and they come to my shows, and after leaving, I quite often get a message from people, and they say to me, "John, what you've taught me has not only improved my business life, but it's also improved my relationships." There was one lady who every single time someone would ask her out on a date, she'd like, boom, drop everything, and then she would just go on that date, right? She's like really looking for a partner right now. And one thing I said to her, I said, look, you need to do things different. And what happened is she kept meeting guys, and it wasn't so, romantic. It was just one of those things, right? She would meet this person, and then it would turn into what, and then the relationship wouldn't last. And one thing that she took from that, she said, John, I changed my habit. I was open to know that even when these, invitations came into me, I would grab onto it. And so now what she did, now she's in a really great relationship now. Now what she did, rather than that invitation coming in, she instead of reacting and saying, yes, I'll be there, because that's been really needy. She would stop and she would analyze, and then she would say, no, actually, no, I don't. And the funny thing happened, the more she said no to it, the more that these guys wanted to date her. And it was amazing. She changed one thing in her life, and now she's found Mr. Perfect. And this happens in all aspects of our life. If you know what I'm talking about right now, give me some love hearts, right? So being open to change means that things will happen dramatically in your life that will create a different result. So imagine you're going this way, right? So imagine I'm going this way, and I change my direction to this. Now I'm going straight ahead, right? Oh, I changed to this direction, and now I'm going this way. Whichever part that you change, you're changing your open mind to allow new things to come in order for you to get the things that you didn't have in life. And that's one thing that had to change in my life. When I first started, my business, I thought I was too young for this. I thought I don't have the money. But the moment I was open to change, to believe that you don't need money to start a business, or you don't need your own money to start your own business, or you don't have to be 35, 40, 50 years old to be able to be a property tycoon. So these are all things that really helped in my mind, that allowed me to make that change. If you guys know what I'm talking about, then just type in yes. And if you found this valuable and you found these lessons valuable, then do me a favor and share this, because again, one of my missions in life is to empower 1 billion lives around the world, and to embark upon that journey of self-improvement. Because I believe that if we are able to just change one thing in our life, then it will resonate into every aspect of our life. If you agree with that, give me a like, right? So, and by the way, if you've just joined, thank you for joining. And this whole session has been about the 8 ways to constantly improve your life, and which one of these 8 things are you doing? Okay, now I'm going to come to the last one. All right. Now, before I get into this one, I'm going to put a bet on this. Right? I'm going to put a bet. I want to bet you a beer, if you drink beer, or I want to bet you a meal that if you do this, you will get tremendous results in your life. You will get tremendous results in your life. And again, if you've just joined, say hi, and I'm going to give you a shout out. So we've got Cheryl. Hey Cheryl. We've got Mentina. We've got Jade. We've got Nala. We've got Leanne Evate says thank you, John. Yes. We've got Ryman. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name not so right. We've got Nasul Bell. Hey Nasul. We've got Servan Chow. Hey Chow. We've got Regine, Natala, and Andros. Doreen Go. That's a cool name, by the way. Sharesh. Hey Sharesh, how you doing? William Young from the Netherlands. Hey, I'm going to be in the Netherlands. I'm in Amsterdam this month, actually. So if you're there, let me know. We got Varsha. Says, hi, John. Okay. This last one is so important that you have to share this, right? You have to share this because it's going to impact millions of lives around the world when I tell you this, right? So share this video right now. I'm going to tell you what this is. I've got my wife that's come on here. Hi, honey, how you doing? Okay, so number 8, right? We talked about the 8 ways to constantly improve your life, right? But number 8 is to get around a community in the specific area of your life in which you want to be improved. All right? Let me say that to you again. Hi, Laura. How you doing? Get yourself around a community that is within the area of the life of what you want to improve. So let's say, for example, you want to become a better parent. You want to improve your life and become a better parent. Then you want to hang around. You know, there's lots of groups out there. All you need to do is go to, if you go to Google, type in parenting groups. There'll be lots of groups. If you go to Facebook, just type in parenting, and what you'll get is you'll get 5 tabs. And one will be pages, likes, posts, and there'll be another one that says groups. And this is what I did. Like, my first area of expertise that I wanted to improve 10 years ago was to become wealthy. And the reason why I want to become wealthy is because the more wealth you have, the bigger difference you can make. It's not just about having money, it's about having the money and having what that money can do for you. And actually what I did is I wanted to learn how wealthy people did it. So I started to get contacted with groups with like-minded individuals, and you know, I would take them out for dinner, and I would just sit around, and I wouldn't say much. I would just listen. Right, and I would listen to the conversations. I would hear them talking about, you know, different areas to buy, or which agents are the best agents to deal with, or the best auctions to go to, or you know, if you want finance, these are the type of people you want to talk to. And it wasn't until that I started getting involved in these groups did my life really start to improve. You see, right now, if I was to ask you, what are you doing right now in your life? Who are you hanging around with? Because and there's always a saying, the saying is, if you tell me who you hang around with, I'll tell you what your life's going to be like in the next 5 to 10 years. So if you hang around people that are very lazy, that don't do things, that are constantly, I don't know, maybe they're always making excuses for things, or maybe it's people that always go out drinking, right? If you hang around people that always go out drinking, then you're going to be putting on maybe a lot of weight. Your lifestyle might look good, your skin might not look good, you know, your energy might not be good. But if you hang around people who, like, if you want to improve your health life and you're overweight right now, hang around people who exercise a lot, because what happens is their belief systems will be inherited to you, right? So, you know, I go to, like, even till today, I still hang around a lot of groups. For example, there's a group that I hang around that, and all these people are all multi-millionaires. And it costs a lot of money to get in, of course. But when I'm with these people, I see the difference they're making to this planet. I see the way they're doing things differently. I see how they're marketing, how they're getting the message out there. I see them being able to penetrate a market which everyone thinks is impossible, but yet is still possible. So, you know, when you hang around a community, not a group, but a community is a community that someone gives back. They actually give back to the community, right? They give you good things, good advice. And it's also the reason why the importance of community is because it's number one reason, right? Are you ready? If you're ready for this number one reason, type in one and hit enter, right? The reason why, one of the best ways to improve your life, which almost has a guaranteed factor to it, is because everybody in that community is aiming for one particular goal. They're aiming to get to that one level where everybody is aspiring to. So for example, when people come into my community, we have a Wealth Dragons community, and there's three reasons why people come in. Number one is to create passive income, so they don't have to work anymore. Number two is to create more wealth in their life, so they can pass this on to the next generation. And three is to make a big difference. So everybody in my community, in Wealth Dragons, is we call ourselves heart-centered entrepreneurs. We get our time back, we create wealth for ourselves, and only when we do that can we create wealth for other people. So when you are going out there and providing yourself with a community, what is the end? The question you have to ask is this: what is the end result for that community that you're involved in? So if you're involved around a health community and the whole goal of that community is to lose weight in a healthy way, that's great. Maybe, I don't know, you like games. You know, when I first started, I'm a geek. I play a lot of computer games. Even till today, I'm testing out the new games. I'm seeing what works, what doesn't work. I'm seeing how they're marketing the game as well. I play it to see how they keep, people engaged in there. And, these games, there's a gaming community that you can hang around, right? So, and I remember hanging around this gaming community, and I got so good at this because I was learning all the secrets, all the tips. And, when you're in this community, you get a lot of free advice. Normally, you've got to pay for a lot of money to extract this information from people in the professional world that pay to teach you this. And when I first started, I got around and hung around a property community where I could constantly share my ideas, and what I thought wasn't right, they would prove me wrong. I would say things like, oh, there's no way you can get deals from agents. And they would say, really? Because I just got one last week. I said, really? How do you do that? And they would tell me the specifics on how that works. So I share these 8 things with you because these 8 things, if you do on a consistent basis, I guarantee will improve your life. And you got to do it consistently as well, right? By the way, if you've just joined and you didn't hear all 8 and you would like a recap, in fact, if you'd like me to do a recap, just type in recap and I'll do that for you. We've got Alan that's joined as well. Hey, Alan, how you doing? Got Cheryl. If you type in recap, I'm going to give you a recap of all 8 things you can do right now to constantly improve your life. All right? And I'm going to kind of summarize this whole thing for you. So we've got Jignesh says recap. Jignesh, okay. We've got Cheryl. And says recap. KT Lee, that's a cool name. It says recap. Arados, I think that's how to pronounce this. Recap. Sonia says recap. And Alan says, hey John, how you doing? Alan says recap. Ray Jean says recap, please. Okay, so I'm going to recap and I'm going to summarize for those of you that have missed these 8 things to improve our lives. The first thing we want to do is read at least 1 book a week. And by the way, if you're like me and you're dyslexic, I read books by listening to books. So there's a really good app called Audible. If you download Audible, you can listen to the books whilst you're doing washing up, whilst you're at the gym, whilst you're traveling to work. It's a really good way to consume books at least once a week, right? Minimum. Once a week in different topics. The second thing is podcasts. Download if you're on iTunes, go to the App Store or Google Play and type in podcasts. If you're an Apple user, this should already be installed on your phone. So download podcasts, and whatever area you want to improve your life in, relationships, health, wealth, your self-esteem, your confidence, I promise you that there will be some podcasts along that. And just listen to it, because make that your daily routine, right? Number 3, take a course, right? If you want courses in relationships, there's relationship courses out there. There's confidence courses out there. If you want to create more passive income, come to Wealth Dragons. We'll teach you how to do that, right? If you want to produce your better health, right? You want to look better, there's courses and things out there that do it. Okay, and number 4 is practice old passions. So go back to what you were passionate about in the past. Go in there and then do it. So if you like painting, like a lot of you shared that with me already, poetry, music, dancing, whatever it is, go out and do it, because your life needs variation. You can't just do one thing all the time. Your brain needs that variation, and what you'll find is the more variation that you get, the more your brain can be open. Haven't you found that when you go traveling or you're doing something that you're not usually doing, that you get all these ideas coming in? The problem is when you're stuck doing that one thing, all you can see is that one thing, and you can't see the woods through the trees, and that's why it's so important. So number 4, practice the old passions. Number 5 is get feedback and get constructive criticism. Constructive criticisms. Go to the people you know. Say, hey, I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to be completely honest with me. Tell me the things you like about me, and I want you to tell me the things that you dislike about me. And get rid of the ego and just take it on the chin, because these are the things that will help you improve, right? Number 6, work towards a goal. Whatever you want to do right now, whatever you want to achieve, put that goal, write it down. Did you know that if you write down the goal, it's 5 times more likely to happen, right? So get that goal, write it down. In fact, I want you to do this right now, all right? Let's do this together. Okay, I'm gonna write my goal right now. My goal is to, I'm gonna type this out. So we've got this. Okay, my goal, I'm going to type this as we're doing this. Goal is to get to 20% body fat, right? That's my goal. I want you to share your goal with me. So I've just typed that in. Let's make today our goal. So what is your goal, right? So I've just put my goal is to get to 20% body fat. What is your goal? Okay, type that in for me so we've actually got that, all right? And then, because when you write it down, it's more likely to happen, okay? So number 6 is to write down your goal and move towards that goal, right? Number 7, be open to change. Know that when you do something new, nothing's going to happen. Like, you know, there's lots of people out there, they think they can just start a business and get rich overnight. There is no such thing as a get rich quick. You have to work towards it. You have to have a plan. If you agree with me, type in yes, give me some love hearts, all right? So that's what we're going to do, number 6. So number 7 is be open to change. And number 8, get around a community. I want you to do that today. I want you to search for a community and join it. And there's 3 types of communities. 1, you've got a networking community, right? 2, you've got a Facebook community. And 3, you've got a forum community, right? So these are 3 communities that you can actually go right now, join, be a part of it. So I just joined a health community because I want to know what people eat on a daily basis that gets rid of fat. I want to know what people do on a daily basis that allows them to reduce their fat. I want to know what training regimes people do to be able to lose weight faster. Like, one thing I learned is that if you do what we call HIIT training, HIT, high intensity training, your fat literally just melts off. It's crazy. So Vincent Wong does things like skipping. He does 3,000 skips a day. His body fats come right down to 11%. It's taken him 3 years to do that. But if you look at his graph, it looks like this. It looks like this. And then it just goes. And I said to him, what did you do there? And he said, bro, I just started skipping, right? So I want you to think about one of the things that you do. So share with me your goals and what goal that you set, that you've typed in, and I'm going to read these out because you want to do this with me. So I set my goal, I want to get rid of 20% body fat, get to there. Regine says, I want to buy a property in 2017 for passive income. Right, so let's set the plan for that. Remember, when you set this, once you've set your goal, you've done the plan, then you need to set a date, right? Stella says, my goal is to get loads of views on YouTube channel. Okay, fantastic. Henry says, hello. My goal is to be able to travel the world alone this year. All right, so write down the places where you want to travel. You want to travel, like, where do you want to travel? You want to travel to, I said I always wanted to travel in Southeast Asia. So I've been very privileged to go to many places in Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Thailand, South Korea, Taipei. You know, I've traveled in many, many places, and, you know, but I put that, you know, as part of my goal on how I want to get there, all right? T says, be successful in online business. Right. Okay, Cheryl says yes. Vishar says yes. William says 10 property apartment before I reach 30 years. Fantastic. That, you know, so 10 properties, if you do that, like, I don't know how old you are now, but if you're 20 now, and by the time you're 30, you just need to buy one a year. And that's very achievable if you know how to do it, right? Stella says yes. Jade, my goal is to meet with you, John Lee. Fantastic. Make sure you come to one of our events. I'm sure you can get the opportunity to do that. So Vince says retire at 50 and live in my future apartment, future properties income. Fantastic. So that's what, again, but you want to work out how much that is. So by the time you retire at 50, how much money do you need? So remember, we got to set the goal, set the plan, set the date. These are 3 things on how we do this. All right. Kenny says, okay. All right. Heath says, yes, build my property portfolio and network with more successful people. Right. So one thing you want to do is you want to list down who are the most successful people. And then you want to write down, how do I get in contact with them? And then how can I be with them? Right. Jignesh says, my goal is to get a 6-pack. Mine too. So we're on the same journey. I got a 1-pack at the moment. Cheryl says, open escrows, get listing. Open escrows, get listings. Fantastic. Pitwell says, John, I'll be attending a TV talk show and share about my birthday. Any advice you can share with me with my first TV interview? Yes. Whenever you're getting interviewed on TV, you always need a core message, right? And you got to have that core message in your brain. The core message has to also have 3 or 4 points associated with that core message. So every time, my core message when I'm speaking on TV is always about, you know, there's a difference between self-education and formal education. So my message is always about how people can self-educate themselves to be able to get different results, right? So hope that answers your question. Riman says, buy at least 1 property this year. Of course, you've got like, what? You got at least 7 or 8 months to do that. Henry says, my goal is to open my own design agency. Fantastic. So how are you going to do it? All right, remember, set that plan. Marianela says, earn 1 million euro in 2017. Right? Do you know €1 million? Right? I'm going to do a calculation for you. Right? €1 million, divide that by 365. To answer that question, the plan that you set means that you need to learn how to make 2,739 euros a day. If you can make 2,739 euros a day, then you can make 1 million euros, right? So that's how you plan it. So so what we do is once we set the goal, we create the plan, then we create a micro plan. So that would be an example of a micro plan. So then the next question we have to ask is, what can I sell that's going to make me 2,739? So let's say you create a product or a service for 500 euros, right? Divide that by 500 euros. You only need to sell 5.4 a day. Call it 5. If you can sell 5 of these products or services every day for 500 euros, then you can make €1 million in 2017. Does that make sense? If it makes sense. By the way, if you're loving this, give me some love hearts, give me some likes, and we'll move on. Heath says, thanks, John. Ting says, never retire. Pitwell says, thank you very much, John. Sonia says, my goal is to lose weight and become a healthy person for my family. Right, so how are you going to do that? Right, remember, so one thing you do is, right, I'll go to the gym every day. I go for a run every day. I'm going to join a community that go running. For example, one thing you can do right now, just join the running club. Right? Remember, these are 8 different ways to improve our life, and I've already given you 8 ways so you can do that. We've got Valentino Achilles joined. Say, how you doing? Good job. So I hope you've found these 8 ways useful. And by the way, if you found this useful, type in yes. And do me a favor and share this. And also, if you've got any other questions, then type this in for me. And what I'll do at the end, either if I've got some time now, I'll answer the questions, or what I'll do is once I finish this, I'll go back through the comments and I'll comment on your comments. And so if you've got any questions, just type it in for me. People says set a goal and work backwards, step by step. Cheryl says yes. Jay says yes. Sheree says, thank you, John. Brilliant share. I appreciate that. Marilyn says yes. Stefana says, thank you very much, John, for your positive energy. Cheryl says, thank you again for sharing. Regine says, thank you for another inspirational broadcast. Sonia says, yes, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And, I know you guys could be doing anything today, but yet you've spent, I think we spent, 45 minutes together, doing this and really sharing this knowledge. And again, if you love this, help me share this with other people. And once this finishes, make sure you subscribe. Around this video, there should be a subscribe button. So next time I do a live, that you don't miss out. I know this was kind of last minute, but I just thought, I saw this post, and in fact I put this post on my Instagram, and it got so much traction that I just wanted to share this with you. And if all you did was just read one book a week, your life would change. If all you did was listen to a podcast, your life would dramatically improve. If all you did was take a course on how to do that, then it would make a difference. If all you did was just practice all passions, you would have a lot more purpose in life. If all you did was just get a lot more feedback on yourself and get rid of that ego, your life would get a lot better. If all you did was set a goal, set a plan, set the micro plans and work towards it, then you'll have a purpose in life which will make you feel happier. If all you did was just be open to change, you'd create a lot more new things, a lot more new habits that would get new results. If all you did was just surround yourself in an amazing community, then your life would be dramatically different. I really hope that you've enjoyed this. And I'll be running more of these Facebook Lives as well, and these live broadcasts. And by the way, let me know, because I'm looking for a new topic to do these Facebook Lives on. So I want you to type in the video below, just comment below on what topics you would love to learn about. So it can be in the area of business, passive income, property, entrepreneurship, health even, and maybe I'll get a guest on here to go through some of this stuff. So yes, if you've got any questions, just type the questions in for me, and today I'll go back through the live and I will answer your questions. So thank you so much for coming on. Have an amazing weekend. Spend time with your family, spend time with your loved ones, and do whatever it takes. Remember, it's always about improving yourself, which will get you the results you want. Never give up on your dreams. Always work towards them. This is John Lee, the author of The Wealth Dragon Way. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.